In this video, we're going to be talking about how to make money without burning out. Every woman's number one question right now. How do I increase my revenue without decreasing my peace? How do I increase my revenue without decreasing time with my family? How do I increase my revenue without feeling like I'm moving in a million different directions? Keep watching because we're going to get to the answer. My name is Victoria Washington, and I've scaled my companies from 0 to 3 million in less than 3 years. And I know all about the different seasons of business and how you can increase your revenue without burning on fumes. And I also know firsthand what it feels like to burn out right when you're about to expand. If deep down you secretly feel exhausted trying to make money, you feel like no matter how much you sell, no matter how much you post, no matter how much you show up, it never quite feels like enough, I want to say this very clearly to you. You are not behind. There is nothing wrong with you. First thing that I want you to write down is that most women try to stabilize their revenue and increase it at the same exact time. And those two seasons require two completely different strategies. When you try to stabilize and you try to grow at the same time, that's exactly what leads to burnout. Mixing them creates this conflict in your body where you either feel like you're never doing enough or then you're doing too much, where you feel like you're always on and then you're always off. The constant back and forth starts to wreak havoc on your thoughts, on your mind, on your faith, and on the endurance that you're going to need to have in this entrepreneurial journey. So today I want to show you why this burnout season is happening, how to start to leverage it starting today, and how to finally increase your revenue without burning on fumes. Let's start here. Increasing revenue and stabilizing revenue, just like I said before, are two completely different assignments. When we start to look at them as different, we can approach them the right way and they actually can be used as leverage in your business. Humans tend to focus on increase because it's in our fleshly nature to always want more. We're always looking at what is potentially missing. And one thing that I always remind my students, you cannot desire something without also feeling lack. Because to desire it in the first place means that you are recognizing that you are missing it. So when we think about increase as humans, we're always focused on it because that's usually where we're putting our shallow sense of safety. We think if the business is always growing, if it's always increasing, then that means it's always doing good. But I know plenty of businesses that are increasing rapidly right now, but they're actually really unhealthy on the inside. So increase doesn't always mean that things are going well. Sometimes the increase starts to expose the lack of stability. And that's usually when women start to burn out. So they keep trying to increase, but then they'll add in some stabilization strategies. And then when they're doing those two things at the same time, they're completely drawn in opposite directions. They feel their energy burn out and they never actually end up making any real progress. So the first thing I want you to do is redefine what increase means in business. Increase is not addition. God's way of increasing is multiplication. When we only think of increase through the lens of addition, what our brain starts to do is think that we have to constantly start over by adding something new. So to increase the business, a lot of women will think, I have to add more offers. I need to add more value. I need to add more time. I need to add more this. And they think if they keep adding on top of what's already there, then eventually it will increase. But eventually that weight gets so heavy that you actually start to decrease. So when we look at increase God's way, the biblical definition of increase means to multiply and means to grow, meaning what's already there is stable and God is going to multiply that so that it grows, it doubles in portion. So start to think of increase as multiplication, start to think of increase as growth, start to think of it as making something larger, something that's already good. Increase is making it excellent. Something that's already stable, increase is making it even more stable. It's not just adding things on top of the base and then hoping that it stays. The next thing I want you to write down is when you're in a season of increase, you are in a season of risk. That means you're selling more, you're being visible more, you're putting yourself out there more. That also means you're going to hear no more, You're going to feel moments of rejection more because there's more exposure in a season of increase. Think about it. When you are selling more, when you're putting yourself out there more and you're being exposed to more people, that means you're getting exposed to more perspectives, opinions, more yeses, and also more nos. This is a time to have thick skin, to truly not lean on your own understanding, but lean on the understanding and the ways of the Lord. When I first started to go viral online, my following went from 3,000 to 7,000 overnight, and then 7,000 all the way to 10. Then it kept going up 15, 30. And this all happened within just a 60-day span. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this is amazing. All these different people are now seeing my work. Everybody was commenting, everybody had something to say. And I got to hear a lot of opinions that didn't feel good at the time. Sometimes people would leave mean comments. Sometimes people would leave nasty comments. Sometimes people would just straight up not like it and be very vocal about it. This is what happens in a season of increase. Because there's more exposure, there's more discomfort. I never looked at my online profile the same again. I detached from it as this personal landscape where I was going to lay out my whole life. Instead, I started to look at social media as a tool. This is a tool to grow my business. I decide what to share on there, and I started to look at my social media like its own program. It just happens to be a free program, and if you enjoy the free program that I'm offering on social media, then you can get into my paid programs. And that really helped get me into the mindset of not taking anything personal, not letting those comments or those perspectives and those opinions penetrate where I knew I was going and who I was as a person. Now, I'm not perfect. There were days where it was hard. And even now, today, if I go viral or if something starts to expand, again, there's this rush of new faces, new voices, new opinions. And I have to continuously remind myself that the social media app does not dictate who Victoria Washington is. Social media doesn't dictate what I show up and say and how I move. That is by the authority of God and God alone. So in this season of increase, courage is required. It is a non-negotiable. And that courage is not going to come from your own strength. It is going to come from the thrones of heaven. When you look at courage, you start to see that begins to bring out an endurance. And endurance is only something that is produced through tension. And if something needs to be produced in you, it means it's not there on your own. So God is the producer of that endurance. It is by his hand, by his power, by his might that you begin to endure these seasons of increase. And if you lean on your own understanding and you lean on your comfort zone, you will not walk in obedience during a season of increase, which can actually then lead to a season of delay. So increase is such an interesting time in business because there's a lot of things being tested. Your obedience is being tested. As things increase, are you going to give in to the ways of the world, or are you going to remain faithful to what God has called you to? Are you going to continue to spend time with God and seek him, or are you going to get wrapped up in the momentum? In James 1, we see the scripture reminds us that this endurance is produced through perseverance. That perseverance is something that perfects us, that completes a good work in us. So in these seasons of increase, let God cook. Let him produce in you a courage and a boldness that can only come from these seasons of intentional tension. As you increase your tolerance for tension, you will start to increase your territory. So the season of increase isn't going to be all the time. In Ecclesiastics, we see in the Bible where Solomon writes, there's a time for everything. And if it was always increase, then it wouldn't actually work. So never look at this season as, oh my gosh, if it changes, something bad is happening. Let this season of increase produce what it needs to produce, and then you'll move into the next season. But what about stabilization? So we just talked about increase, some of the things to look out for, some of the ways that God is going to shape you in that season. But some of you right now are in a season of stabilization, not necessarily increase. And the first thing that I want to say to you is that there's nothing wrong with that. A season of stabilization is so powerful. And it's often the season that business owners skip. They don't like it because it's slower there. It's steadier there. It requires more focus, more attention, more looking at the nitty-gritty details. And if you're a visionary like me, that can get a little boring. That can start to feel like, oh my goodness, why is this ship slowing down? Let's go back to increase. But don't do that. You're going to be back in burnout. And you're watching this video because you want to learn how to make money without constantly burning out. So let's talk about stabilization. To stabilize something means to make it firm. And the whole purpose of stabilizing something is to prevent it from fluctuating. So we want to take this increase and eventually want to stabilize it so that it doesn't go up and down, because then you're going to start chasing increase in money and you will never stand on the firm foundation that God has built for you. So take this season of increase. Now we stabilize it. And this is going to require a few different ingredients. Number one, it's going to require structure. Number two, it's going to require boundaries. Number three, it's going to require fewer offers. But what do you mean, Victoria? You just told me with increase, there's going to be more selling and more this. Here's the thing. Once you get into a season of stabilization, you're going to look at everything that just increased and you're going to do an analysis. What worked? What did not work? And what gets to stay as you move forward? If you never do this analysis, you will keep dragging weight around into the next season that was never supposed to come with you. Fewer offers means higher sophistication in the business, because as Price Pritchett says, simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. So in increase, you're trying a lot of things. You're putting yourself out there. You're putting a lot of different ideas out there. And then in the season of stabilization, you are refining and you're saying that worked really well. That was a good use of my time. That was profitable. That had a major impact. We're going to keep these few things and leave the rest. I remember in a season of increase, it was our third $1 million year. And at this point, we were probably launching a few offers a quarter. And I loved it because it was always something new happening. And there was always new people coming in and all these different things happening at once. We also had a buzzing community and a membership. And the business was doing great. It was increasing, but I noticed that it wasn't increasing at the rate that it could. So that was a signal to me that we needed to stabilize something, that something in this increase was not fully solidified. And if I didn't pause for a moment to stabilize it, then eventually this was going to crash out. So what I did is what most people are afraid to do, and I peeled back and I dialed things back. That did mean lowering the revenue temporarily, but it also meant increasing the simplicity of the business so that when God multiplies it, it's stable and it's not chaotic. So we went from launching a few offers a month and continuously changing the product suite to one core lead, one core signature program, and one core live event. That one simple revenue stream made over $350,000 in its first year. So that right there was evidence for me that if we just stabilize this and then God multiplies it, the increase we were experiencing before is going to look like nothing. That was just preparation for the actual tidal wave that is going to come. So do not be surprised if you are going to have this moment. So do not be surprised if God asks you to pause in this season of stabilization and turn some things off and slow some things down. In the slowing down, He is going to expose where you need to get things in order. Fact of the matter is, it's very hard for you to continuously get things in order when they're always changing. And in increase, things are changing rapidly. In stabilization, they're fluctuating much less, so you have higher decision-making power. So ultimately, burnout happens when you begin to demand peace from a season that requires risk. So if you're in a season of increase, do not demand peace. Do not demand things to be stable. Do not demand things to be quiet. That is a time of exposure, tension, discomfort. And if things are stabilizing, do not demand them to increase. Do not demand them to multiply. Do not demand them to be more visible. This is a time to steady yourself. And when you can commit to the season that God has you in, and not look in all these other directions, you'll be able to walk through it with so much more confidence. Every single woman you're seeing on the internet right now is facing this internal choice. So do not judge your season based off of where God has her. Do not covet her season based off of where God has you, because you just might miss what God is trying to produce down on the inside of you. 2 questions I want to leave you with to ask God so that you can receive a revelation on what season you're in. I highly recommend you do not decide this by yourself. Consult the Holy Spirit, who is the governor of your thoughts. Consult God, who is the CEO of your business, and you will receive the truth. The first question that I want you to ask is very simply, what is my risk tolerance right now? The second question that you're going to ask God is, what season, Lord, am I actually in? I know what season I want to be in. I know what season I think I should be in, But God, will you show me and give me revelation about the season of business I am in? Can you show me where I've idolized anybody else and started to compare myself to their season? Can you show me what lessons you're trying to teach me specifically as your daughter so that I can pick up the wisdom and walk this out with perseverance? And when you come to God with a full heart that is ready to lay it all down, every idol, every expectation, everything you think it should look like, and truly receive the revelation that He has for you, I believe that a truth is going to be revealed, and that is going to clarify so much for you. So that as you run your business, as you run your race, you are running it for the audience of one. You know exactly who called you, you know why He called you, and you know the conditions that He has for you in this season. I pray that this video blessed you. Drop a comment below and let me know your biggest takeaway. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more value coming on biblical wealth, stewardship, and developing your voice as a daughter of God. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!